welcome back. Getting ready to do the Shadow Cabinet, go present ourselves to the High Mucky Mucks of the Ascalon Club. But I noticed on our map here that there's new dialogue available, so just in case it gives us some other hints for this guy we're going to talk to, we're going to play the loading game again and load ourselves back into Lady Ascalon's, or Lady Ashbury's house, and see if there's any other dialogue options. And then we'll go on up to the west end there and present ourselves. And then hopefully it'll open up this new area of people that'll no doubt all be diseased and have headaches and whatnots that we'll have to cure. But we'll open up more of the story and meet these high muck-a-muck vampires. Oh wow, this time we can loot stuff in her house. Well, we must look around. Personal diary, 9th May 1913. Tonight, I went with Mother visiting the sick of the East End. It had been a long time since I went in this sad part of town. To see her talking and listening to those poor people moved me beyond words. She really tries to make a difference and really tries to help these men and women. She also killed one of them tonight. It happened so quickly I did not even notice she had vanished, but when she reappeared, she looked so much more alive, more vivid. I immediately knew what had just happened. She took a life and I saw nothing. We returned home without a word. If I ever become like her, I won't feed on the dying. I will kill the guilty and the brutes wherever they hide. 13th September 1914. This afternoon, 2 men tried to corner me in a back alley while I was campaigning for the women's right to vote. I called for help as loud as I could, like Mother told me. I don't know what would have happened if a soldier had not ordered them to leave me alone. He then walked me back home and tried to kiss me. I refused. He did not say a word and left. The whole story made me so sad. I was still crying when Mother woke up after the night had come. I told her the whole truth and she held me against her chest. Then we went to the theater to see Doris Fletcher in her new play. I think I'm a little bit frustrated that Mother did not rush out to make them all pay. If I were a vampire, I would not be that merciful. 15th September 1914. We had a terrible argument with Mother last night, as she refused once again to turn me into an immortal. When I reminded her of what had happened to me in that street with those 2 men and how things would have been different if I had been like her, or if they had carried weapons, she simply smiled and told me that to be part of this world meant to be ready to face it. I'm not sure I understand what she means, but it drives me crazy. I left home in the middle of the night to see Emily at her house, and I spent the whole day there. Maybe it's time for me to leave Mother's house and live my life, just like my Emily. I love Mother so much, but it frustrates me so when she refuses to talk about my conversion. 17th February 1915. Tonight I am as sad as I am excited, for I'm about to leave this house for good. Mother has agreed to let me have my own flat in the West End as long as it is not too far from her house. I had to promise her I would be very careful. I told her how much I love her, and she told me she was proud of me. I understand now that she only wants me to be as strong and independent as she is. I must admit I am very thankful for all she taught me throughout these years. She made me the woman I am today. Now it's time for me to choose where to go from here. Whatever I'm going to do with my life, it's up to me. All I know is this: if I ever choose to become an immortal, I will not involve my mother in my choice, for this is my life and I'm responsible for my actions. Interesting. Did Lady Ashbury have a human daughter? It seems that way. Glad we're looking around getting these clues, getting the dirt. Okay, so try the stairs on this side. Are they connected? Dracula. To the inspiring Lady Ashbury, there are darknesses in life and there are lights, and you are one of the lights of all lights. Bram Stoker, 4 August 1897. Ooh, autographed copy. So that makes me think that she was perhaps part of the inspiration of him writing of Dracula. Well, where the hell is Lady Ashbury? I guess I could scan. Okay. She doesn't seem to be on the first floor. Okay, so, over this way. Duh, I'm blind as shit. Anything in this room? Since I'm admitting to being blind, yep. The Blood Night tragedy. Only a few of us remain after the shock of the Great Hunt. I was one of them. I remember how the sudden attack of the enemy caught us all by surprise. Blood was shed during those nights. Some of us who survived chose to exile. I don't blame them, but I regret their lack of fortitude. For it is courage we need to protect the interests of the Empire. Courage. We need to defend the values we stand for. May we all remember that William Marshall himself never lowered his head. My beloved Maker may be long gone now, but his presence is still among us. We keep a few drops of his sacred blood to remind us of what we are and what we seek. Honor, purity, and excellence. I had the privilege of speaking with the knight many times as his progeny and as his friend. He spoke to me of the tear of angels, the holy beverage supposed to appease the inextinguishable hunger we all feel, that he never ceased to search, even without knowing if such artifact exists. I admired his tenacity, and it is this tenacity, this indefectible belief in something bigger than us, that will make us survive any future great hunt launched by our enemies. Ascalon will be rebuilt, always, for it is an ideal. From The Law of Ascalon by Lord Redgrave, founder. And there's the lady herself. Oh, wait. Come on, this thing's lit up. Why can't I rob it while she's standing there? Oh, I bet I can now. Sweet. Okay.
Hello again, Jonathan. To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
Sorry to disturb you again, but could you spare me a few minutes?
Of course, my dear. Always a pleasure to speak with you.
Concerning your investigation.
Yes?
Are you truly seeking to identify my maker?
I cannot promise you anything, but yes. I am conducting some research of my own.
Do you know if the epidemic has affected many people in the West End?
I confess I've been more concerned by events in the East End. The wealthy have more efficient ways of dealing with infection.
But this is no common epidemic.
That is true. I must tell my daughter to stay at home for a few days. But the girl is stubborn and fiercely independent. Much like her mother.
Do you think we shall ever see better days? Or at least, better nights?
I know not, Jonathan. I have seen some horrid days in my long lifetime. Experience has taught me that one cannot outrun the fates.
Will you tell me your story one day, Lady Ashbury?
One of them, perhaps. I have had so many lives, Jonathan. Eternity may not be enough to relate them all.
When all of this is over, the war and the epidemic, we could leave the city for a while. Travel around Europe, you and I.
Traveling is always so complicated for us poor creatures of the night. But yes, I would be glad to travel the world with you, my dear.
Wow, that just was,
Goodbye, Elizabeth.
It seems to be advancing much quicker than I just want to see if there's anything else. Okay, and others.
Goodbye, Elizabeth.
Yeah, their relationship is like, yeah, we're both vampires, so I guess we should, get it on. Or at least fall madly in love with each other, and that's really odd. Did I see something else? Oh yeah, the locked thing. What level is she? 20 mesmerism! Holy cow. It's crazy high. Now we can leave. And head on over to the Ascalon Club. Talk to Lord Redgrave, who seems to be the honcho in this territory. Thinks himself quite regal. I'm sure he'll be a joy to deal with. Maybe I should just play things totally honest since they're expecting, well, if I get a chance between types of answers to some of the questions, if they're expecting everybody around them to always be so political and full of deceit, maybe if I tell the truth all the time, it'll throw them off. I don't know. Let's wait till we meet him, I guess. Yay, loading bar moved. Alright. Okay. Map, this way. This way. Hey, treasure. And I think this way. Beware. I hear somebody pissed off. Where are they? They down there? No.
It's locked.
That's fine. That isn't where I was heading anyway. At least we know where the noise is coming from. No treasure here. I should go back and see if I can open that gate down there on the left. Love these guys. Okay, still the same. Yeah. Take that. Okay, so the gate was around this corner. Yeah, head towards the noisemaker. Get your big blue ass in the air. Something you hear at every Smurf party. Sweet! Another gate unlocked. Shortcuts. Love shortcuts. Okay, now I can go back to my quest. My mission. Treasure. So this new area, I know of one person, Charlotte Ashbury. That's Lady Ashbury's daughter, which means I guess her reproductive organs still work. Good to know. I know no one else in this area, so.
The Ascalon Club. The heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected.
Women die too in this war!
Is that Charlotte? It is.
Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte. What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night, since I am a woman?
Yes.
Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually,
Yes.
yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
Tell me
Oh,
about
she's
your adoption.
adopted.
What do you want to know?
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
Yeah, I read your diary. Or some of it.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously, and the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Perhaps it's wise for a mortal never to totally trust a vampire. Your mother herself told me that we Ekon are creatures of deception. Maybe it's because we seem so alive.
That may be true for a naive girl, but I have the best teacher when it comes to getting rid of an insistent immortal.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
Ooh, 3 hints. I should check and see if she's, yeah, she's not sick. Still missing 1 hint.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How is it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Your mother has refused to turn you into a vampire. Tell me more about it.
Each time we argue, Mother expresses the same fear. She wants me to remain alive and full of joy, rather than become melancholy and immortal. She claims you can't have one without the other. It's pure selfishness.
Your mother has walked this earth for much longer than you or I. She is wise, and we should not ignore her advice when we disagree with it.
But why shouldn't I be allowed to forge my own experience? There can't be only one righteous way to deal with eternity.
It's your mother's choice. As daughters and sons, we have to accept the decisions our parents make for us despite our own wishes.
I love my mother, and have accepted everything from her. Even that she named me Charlotte, when it was not my original name.
Does it bother you?
No. Whoever I was when I was born, I am now Charlotte Ashbury. It hurts as much as it makes me proud to know that's the name my mother will read on my tombstone.
Grim.
Why do you still hope to become a vampire in spite of your mother's refusal?
It's the immortal aspect of vampires that interests me. The world won't improve unless women take charge. I'm convinced of that.
You're obviously a clever woman with a good education and a brilliant future. But have you thought about the price you'd have to pay? The loneliness, the necessary masquerade.
Is it not true of every high position? To change this world and make it a better place, one needs time on one's side.
Wow, got the last clue already. Her last hint. Oh my god, can you imagine if I ate her? Her mother would fucking kill me. I think she'd have the actual ability.
Tell me, Charlotte, how do you plan to achieve eternal life, since you've obviously given it a lot of thought?
I won't give up. You have no idea how determined I am, sir. I may contract a deadly disease. I may throw myself under a carriage, just to be saved by her sweet kiss.
That's a disturbing answer, young lady. And the worst part of it is, I know you speak the truth.
There are less dangerous ways, Doctor. Instead of throwing myself under a horse like Emily Davison, I could just throw myself into your arms.
Be careful what you wish for, young lady. I could gaze at you right now and then take you to a shady corner and have my way with you. And leave your carcass to the rats.
You wouldn't dare. My mother would know. She'd never forgive you.
How could she suspect me? Do you know how many vampires are lurking in the city tonight as we speak? Vampires with a worse sense of humor than mine.
Oh, my God. For one second, I thought you actually... Excellent, Dr. Reed. Very convincing.
Yeah, convincing. Okay.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Fair enough. Okay, so that looks like our destination. We'll look at the map a second here. Okay, we opened up this gate. Or did we? Let's go down and open this other gate. So we want another shortcut to the hospital, and then we'll come back to this. I like to open up all the shortcuts if possible. Or as soon as possible. Treasure. Nice. Okay, so that gate is unlocked. Is there another... There is another gate to open, but I can go do that afterwards. Yeah, let's get to our appointment. That's Charlotte. I'm gonna check this gate up here. Treasure? Nope. Temple garden. Okay, that wasn't a locked one. There's some treasure. Let's look at the map then and see. Okay, let's just double check and make sure this main gate over here is unlocked. And then we shall escape. Or go back, escape, sorry. A little high there. Then we'll get to the Ascalon Club after we fight this jerk. Whoa, exploding corpses. That was nasty. Left a little bit of burn. Took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Treasure. Okay. Looks like there should be a little walkway down this way. Let's see if it's locked or unlocked.
Watch it! It's a killer! Get a taste of this!
Oh, what a mess that was, huh? Surprise time.
I'll kill it! Kill it all you deserve!
Thought I heard somebody coming. I think it was my own footsteps. What the hell's this? The Blind Gourmet.
A restaurant where the guests are blindfolded before being seated. Intriguing.
Today's menu: entrees, guess what? Mystery plate, exquisite flavors. Main course, tasteful surprise, wonderful savors, and refined curiosity. Desserts are sweet mystery, hot and cold surprise, and palate revolution. Forewarning, all our customers are blindfolded before sitting at their table. They are invited to use all their senses to enjoy their meals, except their sight. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, map. I missed the turn. Oh, is this maybe what I was seeing on the map? Nope. On around down here. So, bear down to the left. What's this? Is anybody in there to eat me? Doesn't look like it. Stuff. Treasure.
Fresh water.
Holy shit!
As long as it's not holy water, I may find some use for it.
Oh, I think that's for the plant that's dying in our office. That's perfect. Surprise! Oh, is this the door I was gonna open? Okay, looks like that one has been opened. Alright then, guess we're gonna head to our quest. Unless there's another gate here. No, we already checked this out. That's just that back way. On to the quest. Quit stalling. More stall. Wait.
I cannot enter.
The fuck? Oh, later if we go around this back way, it looks like we can backdoor it. Uh-huh. Anywho. Stop yelling. Anything around the building? Oh. And it's a load-in building. Huzzah. Cello loading music. Oh, loading bar's moving. You can do it. Come on, loading bar. Push. There you go. Knew you could do it. The Ascalon Club. Little pig, let me in. Ugh.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
Do you know there's bodies all over the floor?
Welcome to the Ascalon.
Okay, so you won't
There
let
has
me
been
talk
quite
to
a
you.
battle here. I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
What am I stuck on there?
Welcome to the Ascalon.
Okay, thought you'd maybe talk. Anything down here? Oh, wait. That's a loading door. We shall not be pressing that. So where are we going? Oh, upstairs.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bancher was no match for him.
Here, here, here.
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
Okay, I know I said I was gonna go totally honest. It seems to be implying that we're close friends because with the whole romantic thing. But then I also want to like make this guy think I'm his chum by like, haha, she's proven useful, bwahaha. Yeah, let's play his game.
She has proved to be helpful on many occasions.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why have you asked me here?
Because the crisis is escalating. Our enemies, the Guard of Priwen, have even launched an open hunt. The only way to calm things down is to put an end to the epidemic.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End? Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed. But first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Wouldn't he have already sworn that when he was a soldier?
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
Oh yeah.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours. Sent to cleanse the East End of all Skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
What the heck? Looks like I have no other choice.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall. Speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation.
Press F to sign book. Ow.
Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
One of us. One of us. Nice.
I personally went patrolling last night in the West End, and I spotted at least 2 foreign Ekons. This is an outrage. We shall chase these intruders down.
I was chased by a gigantic falcon 2 nights ago. I thought it was
Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
It's quite unsettling. As a doctor, I am more used to being the observer than the subject observed.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Aloysius, that's a name.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member. And a
Mortal
dying
member. Dun, 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 dun.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
I like this guy.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Okay.
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
What do you know about the Guard of Prewin?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reed.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
Let's play their game. I don't agree with him, but let's go this way.
Complete isolation has proven effective throughout history, but the death toll has always been a high one.
I am glad you understand the concept of necessary sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
Well then. Can I talk to these clowns? Huh. Oops, somebody downstairs? Arthur Pembleton. I was hoping to talk to these guys and get info, but alright. Talk to Lord Redgrave.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago. Well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Yeah, have you guys met?
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish, and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
You were spying on me?
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
I ate him.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Bansher was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Skulls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Skulls.
Lord Redgrave can play with the brave all he wants, but I will put a foot outside.
I have met peaceful and wise Skulls. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Skulls are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club, and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Uh-oh. Oh, my mez level went up. Nice. So what level are we now in the family portraits? Lord Redgrave wants me to use all my medical knowledge to pinpoint and stop all the possible sources of infection in the West End. He seems very worried that the epidemic might spread wealthier boroughs of London, thus raising the chance of infecting Britain's elite. I will attempt to root out the cause of the infection. I believe I should start by interrogating all the local inhabitants I find to gather all possible information about any unusual activities related to the epidemic in the vicinity. Wow, that was a mouthful. Ask the locals about possible sources of infection in the West End. Got it. Now, what I wanted to see was my mez level. Mez level 4 now. Nice. We got 3700 XP. I could probably raise my explodey power to level 4. Let's see what level 4 is. Oh, it costs 4,000. Does 500 damage. What are we doing right now? 400. So a little more. The ultimate is 6. What about my shield? Probably raise the shield to do 250, and the cost is cheaper. I can actually afford that now. Wait and see. Awesome. Okay, so can I talk to these guys? I cannot. Okay, to spare everybody the loading time, I'm gonna end it here. Excuse me. Cough in the mic. And we'll pick it back up on the streets on the next video, questioning citizens about the infection. So, thanks and have a good evening. Ciao.